to interact with us freely and become like the Honorable Member for Mitete would say. This is your committee. So I'll now invite you, Town Clerk, to introduce yourself, and please do allow your team to equally introduce themselves. I always say that at least as you are going back after introduction, everyone would have said something, before the committee. So that's the best thing about introduction. At least everyone would have said something. So please, let's introduce ourselves.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning, Chair and members of the committee and the permanent witness. My name is Donald Kachamanza. I'm the acting town clerk for CHIPATA City Council. My colleagues, they can introduce themselves as well. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and members of the committee and permanent witness. My name is Joseph Zulu, Director, City Planning.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of Parliament and the members of the committee. My name is Kasongo Benjamin, the Director of Finance for CHIPATA City Council.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of Parliament. Good morning, permanent witnesses. My name is Muyunda Muyambango, Director Engineering, CHIPATA City Council.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the Parliament. Good morning, the members of the committee. My name is Helen Nawale, Acting Head of Procurement.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of the committee and permanent witnesses. My name is Lynn Galapa. I am the Director of Legal Services at CHIPATA City Council.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee and the permanent witnesses. My name is Ruben Wigan Simfukwe, Director, Human Resource and Administration.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. My name is Bright Mwansa. I'm the Chief Accountant.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. I am Tobias Piri, Socio-Economic Planner.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, permanent witnesses. Good morning, members of the committee. My name is Mwenya Edward. I am the Chief Internal Auditor for CHIPATA City Council. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Honorables. My name is Singo Maziopa, Assistant Civil Engineer at CHIPATA City Council.
Thank you so much. I now wish to invite our permanent witnesses. We'll start with the Office of the Auditor General.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. Good morning, TIC with your team. Good morning to other permanent witnesses. My name is Marshal Gabriel, Director, Eastern Provincial Audit Office. For me to come alone, I've got a team who I will request to introduce themselves. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of this committee. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mnalula Njovu, Principal Auditor, CHIPATA Audit Office.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Simon Munyama. I'm from the Planning and Research Department in the Office of the Auditor General.
Good morning. My name is Luvinda Sinyani from the Planning and Research Department in the Office of the Auditor General. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our permanent witness from the Ministry of Finance.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning, Chair and everyone. My name is Mombasaka from the Ministry of Finance and National Planning, Office of the Accountant General. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. Good morning, CHIPATA. My name is Achibuye Davis, Assistant Director, Local Authorities Department, Ministry of Finance and National Planning, and you are welcome.
Ministry of Local Government.
Thank you, Chairperson, and good morning to you and the honorable members of your committee. CHIPATA City Council, you are welcome to your session. And good morning, fellow permanent witnesses. I'm Kazinga Kennedy, permanent witness from Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Secretariat.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. I'm Tokozile Chaponda from the Office of the Clerk.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning. My name is Max Ochilaka from the Office of the Clerk.
Good morning, Chair and your committee. Good morning, everyone. My name is Diveri Simbeye from the Office of the Clerk.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rachel Chileshe from the Clerk's Office.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning to you and honorable members of the committee. CHIPATA Town Council, you're welcome. Emmanuel Walia from the Office of the Clerk.
Thank you so much. It is now time for the to equally do introductions. We'll start with the Honorable MP for Kaumbwe.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, CHIPATA City Council, and you're most welcome to your Committee on Local Government Accounts. I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe constituency in Petauke District of the Eastern Province. Thank you.
Honorable MP for Mitete.
Chair, good morning, and through you, the rest of the House, CHIPATA City Council, you are welcome. Mutelo Mishek, your servant, and real humble from Mitete. Be calm, like the chair has stated. Take it easy. We are not in court. Thank you.
Thank you
sir.
so much. The honorable people of Dundumwezi.
Chair, thank you so very much and good morning to you. Good morning, my colleagues, honorable members of parliament. Our dear secretariat, good morning to you. Our dear permanent witnesses, good morning to you. CHIPATA City Council, good morning and you are welcome to your committee. My name is Honorable Dr. Singombe, representing the good people of Dundumwezi in Kalomo, Southern Province. Thank you.
The honorable people of Mufumbwe.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Good morning, my honorable colleagues. Good morning, all our permanent witnesses. Good morning, our secretariat. Good morning, CHIPATA City Council. You are welcome to your committee. My name is Elliot Kamondo. I'm Member of Parliament from Mufumbwe.
Chairperson, good morning, Honorable Nyambwa. Good morning, Honorable Siavonga. Good morning, permanent witnesses. Good morning, CHIPATA City Council. Good morning, colleagues. My name is Mulunda Darius, Member of Parliament for Siavonga constituency. Chairperson. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning.
Thank you.
My name is Christopher Shakafuswa. I represent the good people of Mandevu constituency. And you are in Mandevu constituency, so you are welcome. I'm the Vice Chairperson of the committee. Thank you so much.
CHIPATA Council, good morning.
Good morning, Chair. Thank you.
My name is Mishek Mtetwa Nyambose, representing the wonderful people of Chasefu constituency in Eastern Province, and I'm privileged to chair your committee. Welcome once again. With that said, I would like to ask you to take us through your submission.
Thank you very much, Chair. Before we start going through the report, Chair, we submitted an addendum just for additional information to the appendices in terms of evidence. So there's nothing much in terms of corrections, it's mostly just evidence. I may proceed, Chair. Thank you so much.
Yes, as guided, you should, as a matter of guidance, just read the title of the query, then action taken and remedial measure.
Thank you so much, Chair. On part 1, Chair, specific audit findings. A, delayed completion of the project, construction of a footbridge at Chizongwe with 678,804 kwacha. Reason for the query was that the auditor's observations were that the construction of a crossing point at Chizongwe was not completed at the time of the audit, and management wishes to report that there was an extension due to the variation in the scope of works to increase the capacity of water intake at the crossing point. And the project was affected by the closure of then Invest Trust Bank, which delayed the payment to the contractor. Action taken, Chair, is that the project has since been completed, as evidence in the pictures shown on page 2. Remedial measures, Chair, will ensure that the expanded CDF or community projects are sufficiently funded and completed within the fiscal year. B, poor workmanship, construction of Gonda Bridge. Reason for the query: we wish to acknowledge the auditor's observation and wish to report that the damage to the embankment was as a result of unprecedented flash floods due to extreme weather conditions that we experienced in the district at that time and affected many other infrastructure within the district. Action taken, Chair, is that the embankment has since been reconstructed and the bridge is in use. We have further recommended that the capacity of the bridge be increased in similar future natural occurrences. The pictures on page 4 shows what happened before and how the embankments look after the works have been done. Remedial measures: we have recommended that the capacity of the crossing point be increased in order to cater for similar future natural occurrences. The design for the bridge will take into account the increased volume of runoff, since the area in which the bridge is actually the main discharge for the city. And we have also planted grass around the embankments to avoid soil erosion. C, inadequate number of desks supplied against the requirement at Munga Primary School. Chair, we wish to report that the supply of 25 desks to the school was based on District Education Board Secretary's recommendation and the availability of desks procured under 2022 CDF allocation. Action taken: we wish to report that a total of 401 desks have since been delivered to Munga Primary School, as the pictures indicated showing, Chair, there. Remedial measure: we will ensure that adequate number of desks are delivered to all the schools in the districts. I, delayed implementation of CDF projects. Chair, I wish to submit that the reasons for the query and actions taken are submitted in a table form, because the projects involved here, there were 3 of them. Project 1 was completion of 1x3 classroom block at Munga Primary School at 1,600 kwacha. Reason for the query, Chair, was that was caused by the phased approach of the project starting from 2021. The project was also affected by non-responsiveness of bids at the procurement stages or phases. The project has since been completed. The second one is the construction of 5.7 road and 4 bridges along Kasupe School Road and 2-kilometer grading and spot graveling at Taonga Road, worth 780,941 kwacha 71 ingwe. Reason for the query, Chair, is that for delayed was caused by the stoppages of works in the rain season, and further also Zambia National Services demobilized from site after the rain season because they had other assignments within the province for them to do. Action taken, the project has since been completed. The third project here is rehabilitation of a 10-kilometer road network in CHIPATA Township, 610,602 kwacha, 16 ingwe. The reason for the query is the same as as 2, and the project share it has been since completed, and the roads are in good use. For details is attached on Appendix 4. Remedial measure, we ensure that the expanded CDF for all community projects are sufficiently funded and completed within the fiscal year. Delayed implementation of 2023 CDF projects. 3 were implemented, while 10 had not been implemented and 1 had been completed. 2 were still work in progress as at June 2024, worth 15 million plus. Chair, the summary of which, in terms of reasons for the query and action taken, have been submitted in table form. The projects in question, Chair, are 13. 1, the procurement of desks, 2023 CDF, 4,400,000. Chair, we wish to report that the delay in the implementation of these procurement of these desks was as a result of suspension of procurement process for the desks by ZPPA following a complaint from one of the bidders, Chilimba Farms. And action is that after the suspension was lifted, the 61 desk contracts, of which 54 were awarded and completed, desks delivered, while 7 contractors have delayed, and we have given them extension up to end of April 2025 to deliver. Number 2 was centrally procured, is completed. Number 3 completed. Number 4 is completed. Number 5, completion of 1/3 classroom block, Kanjara Primary School. The delay was caused by non-responsiveness of bids at procurement stage. Action taken, we have finally awarded the contract, and that we have given extension of the contractor to finish by end of April 2025. Number 6, rehabilitation of 1/2 classroom block at Nyakutwa Primary School, 450,000 kwacha. The delayment was, as usual, non-responsiveness of bids. However, in action, we have managed to secure a contract, and the contract is in progress. 7, completion of Maguero Police Post. Chair, this is completed. 8, rehabilitation of 1/2 classroom block at Nadaritsika Primary School. It's completed. 9, water sanitation in all the 11 wards of CHIPATA City, 2 million. The delay was due to non-responsiveness of bids at procurement stage. Action taken. Wish to report that the following action has been taken. 38 boreholes earmarked for drilling, of which 28 are done, while 10 are in progress. Chair, allow me to make a correction on bullet 2. It's supposed to be, instead of 2, it's supposed to be 4. 4 water schemes were earmarked, of which 2 have been done, while 2 are in progress. For those that are in progress, we have given them up to April 2025 to finish. Number 10, construction of 1/4 classroom block, Lutembwe Secondary School. It was also due to non-responsiveness, and we have awarded the contract. Is in progress. We expect it to end by May 2025. 11, Madzimoyo Primary School construction of a water scheme. Chair, this is completed. 12, completion of a laboratory and staff ablution block at Madzimoyo Primary School. Was also delayed due to non-responsiveness of bids. It's expected to complete by April 2025. And the 13th one, CHIPATA Central grading and graveling of 30-kilometer roadworks. Chair, I wish to report that the grading and graveling of the 30-kilometer roadworks in CHIPATA Central constituency was delayed due to rains, and also it's the same reason ZNS demobilized at the time we needed them to get back because they had other national assignments within the province. But however, they came back and the job has been done completely. For further details, Appendix 4 is attached. Remedial measures. We wish to report that management will ensure that the expanded CDF and all community projects are sufficiently funded and completed within the fiscal year. And we also ensure that there is continuous training of contractors to use the electronic government procurement system so that we do not have to avoid non-responsiveness of bids. Then we also ensure that the grading of roads is done immediately after the rain season, since the grader by then we do not have has been now procured for CHIPATA Central Constituency. Delayed completion Mutiransembe Gari. Reason for the query, Chair. We wish to acknowledge the auditor's observations and that there was delay in the completion of Mutiransembe Gari project under 2023 CDF funding. However, the project was within the contract duration at the time of audit. The stone pitching has since been done, and only works remaining was the dumping of gravel on the sides of the galley. And the project is completed, and the council was at that time still waiting for funding from the Ministry of Finance after the closure of the bank. Action taken, Chair, is that the project has been completed as the pictures showing on page 12. Remedial measure will ensure that the disasters are mitigated as soon as they occur to protect the properties and lives of the people. D, misapplication of funds, implementation of an approved project, 16,000 kwacha. Reason for the query, Chair, was that a rising multipurpose cooperative applied for sausage making business and they were granted. However, the group deviated from the project applied for and went into business grain, maize grain selling. Action taken, Chair. We warned the affected beneficiary for the misapplication of the Constituency Development Fund, and which is a grant to them. We also advised the cooperative to request for change of the project through the CDFC. The matter was presented and was rectified. Remedial measure will ensure that grant beneficiaries adhere to the terms and conditions of grants and loans agreements. E, non-operational cooperative, 35,000 kwacha. Reason for the query, Chair, was that Evidence Cooperative, at the time of the audit, as at 31st of October 2024, they were non-operative. Wish to acknowledge the auditor's observation, and we have taken the following action. We've written the first and final warning to the beneficiary, reminding them to adhere to the terms and conditions of the loan agreements. We have also engaged the financial institutions to take legal action in order to recover the unpaid loan from the beneficiary. The details are on Appendix 7, and also in the addendum, the additional information for evidence. Remedial measure. We will ensure that the financial institutions recover the loan amount, including interest. We also ensure that the beneficiaries adhere to the terms and conditions for the loans. Part 2 of the report, Chair, cross-cutting audit findings. Appendix 1, budget, funding and expenditure. We wish to acknowledge the auditor's observation. However, the retained amount under CHIPATA Central by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development for the purpose of constructing Chief Palace and insurance for the motor vehicles was 1,052,000 kwacha 432. Further, we wish to report that the retained amounts for Luangeni was only 115,000 kwacha, funds meant for payment of insurance for the motor vehicle, as indicated on the table. Action taken, Chair. The construction of Chief's Palaces was procured centrally, and the works are ongoing at Chief Nzamane's, Senior Chief Nzamane's Palace. Monitoring vehicles for both constituencies have since been insured, and actually it's annually. Further, management wishes to report that letter has since been written to the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development to follow up on the matter. Further details are on Appendix 8 and also in the addendum. Remedial measure, management to ensure that there is value for money, effective monitoring and timely delivery of the projects. Chair, Appendix 1.1 is similar report to the similar information and also the report as stated in 1. Further information also on Appendix 9.
So those which are repeated, you can skip them.
Can skip. Thank you so much. We go to Appendix 2, total unspent funds on page 16. Reason for the query, Chair, was that management wishes to acknowledge the observation by the auditor and wish to report that the unspent funds amounting to 28,776,789 kwacha under Chipata Central was on the account of the following reasons. There was balance brought forward from 2022, 2 million kwacha. There was delayed receipt of 2023 CDF funding, which were received in the date stated on the page. Number 3, the provision of the Public Procurement Act number 8 of 2020 requiring procurement entities not to commence procurement proceedings before actual receipt of funds for further delay and implementation of the community projects. Number 4, the suspension of procurement of desks in November 2023 by ZPPA affected the 61 contracts relating to the delivery of desks. Number 5, non-responsive bids. Some contractors were unable to adopt to the new EGP procurement system. And 6, the lengthy procurement processes delayed further. Hence, we had these funds in the account. Action taken, Chair, that funds amounting to 28,119,000 have since been spent, leaving a balance of only 657,000 kwacha. And the table below highlights how the expenditure has been, and as at dated latest, 31st March 2025. B, Chair, under Luangeni, it's the same query, same reasons, and same feedback. Action taken. I wish to report that amounting 19 million have since been spent, leaving a balance of only 8 million as at the 1st March 2025. And the table below, Chair, shows the tabulation, how the balances were, what the expenditures were, and where we are as of today. Remedial measure. 1, the amendment of the ZPPA Act number 8 of allow procuring entities to commence procurement processes before receipt of funds will speed up project implementation. Number 2, the revised timelines for public procurement processes will also ensure timely implementation of CDF projects. Number 3, the decentralization of projects approvals of CDF funded projects by the Ministry of Local Government and the Attorney General's chambers to provinces. We will also ensure timely initiation of projects. Number 4, Council will continue to undertake public sensitization on CDF to ensure enhanced uptake of bursaries and skills. Appendix 2.1, unspent funds, community projects. Chair, also a similar feedback as earlier on alluded to.
Go to the next.
We go to Appendix 2.2 on page 20, and spent funds empowerment grants. We wish to acknowledge the auditor's observation and report that over expenditure under Chipata Central was an account of funds brought forward from 2022 from 2022 initiation of projects necessitated by the need to form and train WDCs in 2022. Action taken, we report that the funds have since been spent. For this is attached 12, as well as also bank statements in the addendum provided. Remedial measure will ensure that projects are timely implemented. 2.4, secondary boarding and skills development bursaries. The reason for the query, Chair, was that the over expenditure totaling 73,616 kwacha under CHIPATA was, which were utilized in 2023. Action taken, we wish to report that under were varied toward C document and also additional on the addendum. Remedial measure, we have intensified sensitization to ensure that there is enhanced uptake of components, especially in Rwangeni, which is mostly rural. 2.5, unspent administration costs. Management wishes to report that over expenditure on administrative costs was as a result of funds carried forward from the previous year, 2022, which were meant to be utilized on the management of all projects that were not implemented in 2022, but they were implemented in 2023. Action taken, the funds, the financial records have since been updated as what transpired. We have also information attached documents on Appendix 14 for the ledgers and bank statements. Remedial measure, we will ensure the timely implementation of all projects and updated records and information in terms of financial records. Appendix 3, 2022 community projects. Chair, reason for the query and action taken is in the table format. We have provided the 3 projects concerned. 1, renovation of 1x3 classroom block at Kagunda Primary School. The reason for the query was that this project had non-responsive in terms of bidders, and we have currently managed to award the contract, and work is in progress. 2, drilling and installation of water scheme at Nkombola Kabaye. It was also non-responsiveness of bidders. We have managed to award the contract now, and the work is in progress. The 2 are in CHIPATA Central Constituency. The 3rd one in one constituency, rehabilitation of Kapita Road, road including culverts, 8 kilometers. The reason for the query here, Chair, was that the contract was terminated for convenience because the council did not fulfill its contractual obligation of providing a grader and roller compactor on free issues basis. Action taken, we wish to report that the contractor has installed the culverts on the crossing points, and further the contract has since been terminated, and the grading of the roads will be done under the 2025 grading program, since we have the grader now in the constituency. 15, so on in the additional information. Remedial measure, we that the expanded CDF for all community projects are sufficiently funded and completed within the fiscal year. Appendix 4, projects, Chair. This information, Chair, is similar as the previous reports. It's a repeat. We go to Appendix 5 on page 25, analysis of performance, youth, women and community grants. Reason for the query, We wish to acknowledge the auditor's observation. However, total amount received for grants in 2023 was 2,151,856 kwacha 55 ngwe. Further, we wish to report that over expenditure totaling 998,120 was on account of carryover funds from 2022 which were utilized in 2023. Action taken. We wish to report that all approved grants under 2023 funding have since been disbursed. Details in Appendix 16 and also in the addendum for additional information. Remedial measure, we will ensure that funds are disbursed within the fiscal year going forward. Appendix 8, performance analysis, soft loans. Reason for the query. We wish to acknowledge the auditor's observation and wish to report that over expenditure was on account of carrying over funds from 2022. The delay was on account of administrative challenges rising from the late issuance of guidance on management of loans, which were issued in November 2022. Action taken. We wish to report that all approved loans under 2023 funding have since been disbursed. Details, a correction there, 17, not 10 as indicated there. Remedial measure, we will ensure that funds are disbursed in the fiscal year. Appendix 9, failure to recover loans. Reason for the query. Management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's observation that 34 beneficiaries under 2022 and 2023 loans had amounts totaling to 398,624 kwacha at the time of the audit. Action taken. We wish to report the following action has been taken. We have written to financial institutions to effect demand on the outstanding loan repayments. We have also written first and final warning letters were written to the affected beneficiaries on the need to adhere to the terms and conditions of the loan agreements. The banks have been written to as well to commence legal action against defaulters. Details on Appendix 18. Management on remedial measures will ensure that we work closely with the banks so that the soft loans repayments are fully recovered. Chair, is the same information that was for CHIPATA Central. It's similar to Lwangen constituency as well. We go to Appendix 10, secondary boarding and skills development bursaries. Reason for the query. Wish to report that over expenditure under CHIPATA Central was on account of low uptake for bursaries in 2022. As a result, amounting totaling 73,616 were carried over to 2022 and utilized in 2023. Further, management wishes to report that under expenditure under Lwangeni was on account of low uptake of bursaries during the period under review. Action taken. We wish to report that the unutilized funds under 2023 bursaries component were varied to undertake community projects. We refer the same information to Appendix 13 for evidence. Remedial measure, Chair, wish to report that sensitization on bursaries has been enhanced so that we can increase uptake, especially in Lwangeni, where it's rural dominant and they take up very less in terms of bursaries and skills. Appendix 13, analysis of performance of desks. Reason for the query. We wish to report that target for delivery of desks in both CHIPATA Central and Lwangeni constituencies were met during the period under review. Action taken. A total of 4,000 desks for Chipata Central and 3,533 desks for Wangeni, respectively. For details, see Appendix 20 and also further details in the addendum. Remedial measure, we wish to report that adequate desks are delivered to all schools throughout the district. Appendix 17, misappropriation of grants. Reason for the query. Wish to acknowledge the auditor's observation and wish to report that Dochichi Youth Multipurpose Cooperative misappropriated the funds amounting to 22,500 by venturing into village banking to grow their funds instead of the poultry business applied for. Action taken, Chair, is that we have warned and banned the affected cooperative. On this, Chair, allow me to withdraw their bullets, 1, 2, 3 of them. All those, we remove them, and the submission is that we have warned and banned the affected cooperative, Dochichi Youth Cooperative Multipurpose.
Okay.
For details on Appendix 21, Chair. On B, under Wangeni, we have also Kamuzembe Agro Shop. The reason for the query is that Kamuzembe Agro Shop were given empowerment loan of 100,000 kwacha for their agro shop business to venture into, and out of the loan agreement, the two proprietors of the Kamuzembe lent out 17,000 kwacha to people that did not belong to their partnership, and the amount lent out was not paid back at the time of audit. Action taken, Chair. We have written the letter to the Kamuzembe Agro Shop to reimburse the misappropriated funds and warned them against the failure to follow loan agreement terms. Secondly, the company and its directors have since been banned from accessing any form of empowerment funds from CDF. And further, we have also written to the bank instructing them to pursue the matter and ensure that the full amount of loan repayments are recovered as per loan agreements terms. Details on Appendix 21. Remedial measure, we work closely with the banks so that all loan repayments are fully recovered, and further to doing so, legal action is taken against defaulters. Chair, this marks our submission. We submit for further scrutiny.
Thank you very much, Town Clerk, for that elaborate presentation of your report. It's now time for points of clarifications from honorable members of Parliament. I'll start with honorable member Siavonga, then the one who follow Mfumbwe, then Mitete will be the third.
Chair, thank you very much. And we appreciate the submission from Chipata City Council. Chair, I'll take you to the last page, page 31, page 27, and page 13.
Let's go to those pages from the 27 to 31. Yes, honorable member.
There is 13, 27, and then 31.
Or 13?
13, page 13.
Okay.
Then page 27, and then page 31. Chairperson, I want to get a clarification from the town clerk over the loan repayments. My understanding, Chairperson, is that the council and the beneficiaries, they sign an agreement between the council and the beneficiaries. The bank is there, just the government identified the banks to disperse the funds. If the bank gives out its money, the bank will demand for collateral. In this case, the bank has not demanded that.
the council identifies the beneficiaries through CDF, which is the council participates. And when the money is paid in the revolving account, in terms of repayments, it's not the bank beneficiaries, the council that identifies the beneficiaries. Chairperson, I'm looking at the submission here that they have written to the bank and instructing them on page 31 to pursue the matter to ensure that the full loan amounts of, loan repayments are recovered, instructing the bank to do that. At the same time, Chairperson, the council is given the monitoring vehicle to monitor these projects, to monitor these activities, and make sure that they are viable. I doubt if in the guidance and conditions the bank is mandated to monitor the activities of the loans. So maybe I'm seeking for a clarification from there.
Town Clerk.
Thank you very much, Chair. It's true, yes, we identify the beneficiaries and refer them to the bank. So in terms of signing details and agreements, they do sign with the bank. Maybe for further clarification, Chair, allow me to ask Director Legal so maybe can add up.
Director Legal.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and Honorable members of the committee. Our basis of actually writing to the bank to actually institute proceedings is emanating from a government circular number 7 of 2022. It has actually stipulated the parties' obligation where the loan agreements are concerned. And the conditions that were highlighted in that circular are that the agreements are signed by 3 parties, which is the council, the bank, and the beneficiary, meaning the person who's getting the loan. However, the responsibility under the circular to recover loans is clearly stipulated under clause 4.7 that it is actually the bank. So it is us relying on that able guidance by government that this institution, financial institution, is the one that is actually given the sole responsibility to recover loans. However, when you look at the attachments we've actually put where we are writing to the bank, we are not solely leaving the responsibility to the bank. We are actually working hand in hand because even the council is privy to those agreements. I submit, Chair.
A follow-up, or allow Honorable Mulunda for a follow-up.
Chairperson, I want to be very, very clear, legal mind, that the government, whilst you are distancing yourself from recovery, from your submission, what is the role of the monitoring? Why do you monitor the loans that are given to these people if yourselves you have no part? All you do is to send the beneficiaries list to the bank? Why did the government give you that monitoring kind enough doing the monitoring at? Thank you.
Director Legal through the Town Clerk. You can respond.
Thank you, Chair. Just for I stated that just to actually clarify that we are distancing ourselves. We are not distancing ourselves. All we are doing is the abiding by the circular number 7 of 2022, which actually puts the sole responsibility of recovering loans on the financial institutions. So what we are doing, when you see the exhibits that we've actually put before this Honorable House, we actually even indicated to the financial institutions that you may proceed relying on clause 4.7 of this circular to recover loans. However, in doing so, we are here to give you backup support because we actually recognize the fact that the loan agreements are signed by all parties. Therefore, we are part and parcel. But we are not being in the forefront to institute these legal proceedings because of that clause in the circular. but we are working together with the financial institutions. That's what I earlier on submitted, unless I've actually missed the point.
Let me,
I'll be guided.
your mic.
Thank you.
Let me give Honorable Kamondo chance, then you come back. A follow-up.
Yes, actually it's on the same loan repayment. Chairperson, I want to reiterate that indeed this loan component seems to be a problem. We need to find a lasting solution to this, otherwise a lot of money is going to be misused, and it is not going to be taken to the intended purpose. After following, actually, on page 27, I want just to add on, and I'll ask some more questions actually on the same. But this one on failure to recover loans. Number one, on the schedule which is on page 27, you have indicated the number of recipients not making payments for Luangeni. You have not indicated.
CHIPATA is there, it's new.
It's new.
52 were given,
yes,
and none of them is paying.
Okay. If none of them is paying, if that is the case, why is it that on page 27, when you look, Chair, when you look at page 27, and when you also look at page 28, according to CS, it says that the information which is on 27 applies to 28 as well. I want to find out whether in Luangeni, just the total, is it that none of them in Luangeni? I just want to CHIPATA first, maybe a clarification on CHIPATA. Then secondly, I also want to find out, you have also availed to the fact that the first and final warning letters were written to the affected beneficiaries on the need to adhere to the terms and conditions of the loan agreement. I've gone through your evidence. I've not seen that evidence. Are you able to avail that evidence to this committee so that we move together? Because the only evidence that I've seen is Council Secretary writing to the bank on the two letters that are there. They're almost the same, except that they are different in terms of amounts involved. Also, you also told this committee that the bank has been written to commence legal action against the defaulters. When you look, I want actually you to just show where it is indicating that they should go ahead with the legal action. I think for now, those are the three concerns that I'm raising.
Director, you go through the work. You can respond to issues that are pointing to you.
Thank you so much, Chair. Just a moment, Chair. I beg your indulgence.
Problem. As you are looking for the appendix, you Honorable Munda, a short one.
Yeah, a short one. Actually, is on page 31. The action number 3. Action number 3, and I'll read it. Further, the council has written to the bank instructing them. The council has written to the bank instructing them to pursue the matter and ensure that the full amount of loans, repayments and recovery as per loan agreements. The bank instructing, the council instructing the bank to pursue these people. I've not seen where the council is saying we are participating or pursuing these people. They have written to the bank. In legal terms, what's that?
Okay, you can respond, Director Rigo. Starting with Honorable Kamondo.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. In respect to the first question from the Honorable Member on the first and final warnings letter written. The honorable member is actually on firm ground. On Appendix 18, we haven't actually attached them, but I verily believe we've got copies. I verily believe that we've carried copies, Honorable Chair, which we can actually submit for verification before this committee. Then in respect to question 2, where the bank has written, I concede, I wish to actually reconstruct my sentence. I had actually indicated that we had instructed the bank to commence legal proceedings. However, the letter which we wrote to the bank, the instructions were for them to actually recover the loans pursuant to 4.7. So it was an issue of terminologies. I seek your indulgence. I wish to correct the statement. With your indulgence, Chair, I submit.
We understand. As you may be aware, we always guide that as we follow what you write to us. And we follow religiously. So if you are presenting contrary to what you have written to us, then we at sea. We don't know what to follow. So since that you are asking for withdrawal and acknowledging that even the information that you have adduced is not there, we humbly accept. Show us the evidence. As you said, you have come with it, the attachments. You said you came with the attachment. You are very sure your engagements with the beneficiaries, the warning letters and stuff. Mr. Kazinga.
Thank you, Chair. I thought we could give a little bit of guidance to the council or the witness before you, and indeed through them to all other councils. The spirit of government, and through this circular, the Treasury and Financial Management Circular, is directing responsibilities as your committee has observed. The key player here are local authorities.
Correct.
The value chain in the loan system accrues economic development in the respective localities. Hence, the issue for us, once these loans are disbursed, it should inform vigorous capacity building, first of all, because some of these things, Chair, are happening for the first time. To have like cooperatives getting 100,000, 200,000. So councils, we need to take it upon ourselves, just as we identified the beneficiaries, continuous capacity building and tracking, so that it is easier for banks actually to recover and report to you how much money has been recovered. As rightly observed, the recovered monies are rolled back into additional beneficiaries who are primarily identified by local authorities. Correct. So I think that's what we need to get. The message here is that this is a trajectory of economic development for the country through the respective 116 districts. And I thought possibly, Chair, we could add that context to the loan disbursement and the value chain that is derived out of it. I submit, Chair.
I want, on behalf of the committee, to thank you, Mr. Kazinga, for the guidance. We have been in councils which are doing very well. They're trying, not doing very well, but they're trying in the recovery of the loan. And this is by the... What Honorable Mulunda was asking on this matter, on behalf of this committee, is a true situation. Now, in certain councils, you pass the bank, say, no, it's the bank. So hence, we are not seeing any movement. And if you look at your schedule there, Town Clerk, I think it's not reconciling very well, especially for CHIPATA. I don't want to speak for Honorable. Where CHIPATA Central, you have indicated that 52 beneficiaries, CHIPATA Central, you gave out to 52 beneficiaries. Number of recipients making payment, new. default period is 12 to 36 months, which is 3 years. You have indicated there. Amount issued 6 million. Now, this is misinformation for me where I'm seated here, because if you issued 6.1 million, 6,197,602 amounts to be recovered, you have indicated 463,346. I'm not a mathematician or accountant, but you see, if they have not been paying, I don't know how much they're supposed to pay. The figure there is 657. Maybe it's the monthly repayments. You could be right. But it is worrying. If it's CHIPATA, there's nothing, no one is paying back town clerk. For Wangeni, you had 60 people who were given these loans. 22 are making payments for the same period. And the amounts to be recovered is 553,360. So this issue, you are the same officers. What is making the people of Wangeni and not the people of CHIPATA Central? What is making these follow-ups? Themselves voluntarily. So those are the questions that are lingering in our minds. But I would like you to go back to Honorable Kamondo. You have not answered everything, because you said some of the information, you have carried it with you, but it's not attached in the documents. May we have that information so that we verify what you are telling us? Addition before you.
Chair, just an addition. Town Clerk, you have heard the ministry's guidance. In other councils, yesterday we had a council that had people that were not paying. Others were reported to the police, others were written to, and they indicated that they started paying, isn't it?
Yes.
They started paying. The council is the one that was doing that. So, CHIPATA, you should not take your own. If we find that you are the only council that is submitting that, then it would be the only council that is not following what is supposed to be done. But I'm just giving you a scenario, because we are going through these things every day, and we know what is workable and what can help us and what can help even CHIPATA City Council. Thank you, Chairperson.
So as we wind up on this question, we want you to submit that which you indicated that you came with it, but you did not give to us, because the letters you purport in your text that you have been hearing Kamondo with the I was saw you trying to pull papers. Town Clerk, you show us.
Chair, thank you very much. First of all, the issue of us distancing ourselves from the bank and getting involved to recover the money. The same letters written indicated in Appendix 21. The last part of the letter, allow me, Chair, to read. It was signed by my the previous town clerk. In view of the background, you are required to take action in accordance to the loan agreements to recover all outstanding loan installments. Should you, I stress this point, Chair, should you require any support in this regard, kindly do not hesitate to contact my office. Meaning we are not distancing ourselves. We still, yes, we admit the lapse, that there is some loans are not being repaid fully, and on the table here as captured auditor, Chair, we are exchanging notes there. The number of recipients not making repayments, probably do not understand it clearly. We'll seek guidance further. It's indicating 0. Yes, it's showing out of 52, none of them has paid, according to what is here. In our reason for the query, we are saying 34. And the 34 combination. This is what leading, yes, Chair, we admit, but allow us with time, maybe as we proceed, we'll look for more. We have information, we can find it and be able to submit.
What about the information about you engaging
the beneficiaries? Chair, one example on page 262. 262, appendix Appendix C. There's a letter there to the Youth Multipurpose Cooperative, which is like some of them that misapply. So where we engage them, there's a whole story there where they wrote a letter to us, where we have even done minutes to the committee and everything submitted. Just one such example, Chair.
Honorable Gamondo, you have been itching to make follow-ups.
Yes.
As we wind up on this one.
Indeed, we need to wind up, but this report is not coordinated because the 162, this is about grants. It's not about loans, which is actually...
The 262 grants, we're talking about loans.
Says Lwangeni and the CHIPATA, who have loved how many from Lwangeni are not making actually strides to pay, and how many from CHIPATA, so that we know exactly which are between the two, and also would have loved to know the name of those people who got these loans. That information, like we have seen from other constituencies, actually they've provided that information so that we can help to know exactly what is it that is causing these people not to pay. Is it a political influence, or what could be the problem? I think that is the most important thing. What's important is this is a revolving fund which everyone is yearning to get, and some people are appreciating. So if we can allow some people treated this in a special way, those that want to get, not to get, I think that is not fair. I think for me that is what is very important. You and Chap, that this is the component now which almost everyone wants to benefit. But we have you want to pay. So when are these other people going to pay? Members of parliament have been hated because they think that maybe others were favored and others. But the president says everyone should benefit.
You don't need to add, just to that concern. The names.
Chair, Appendix 21 on the main document. The groups or individuals which we've written to in terms of loan repayments. This should be page... Just we go to Appendix 21 on the main document. It's the last appendix. The first page there. Consumer general dealers.
But do you concede we must put record straight? You had refers to 262 as the evidence for loans, but this letter is talking about grants. Do you concede and withdraw that?
Chair, I consider I withdraw the earlier on the 262. We concentrate on this one now for direct in terms of loan repayment.
Which one is that?
Appendix 21. The last appendices on the main document. The last appendix, 21. There's the Nyansima General Dealers is one of the defaulters in terms of loan repayments. Open Minds Multipurpose Cooperatives is one of the defaulters. Smart Hunters Youth Multipurpose Limited is also one of the defaulters. Forward Women Group is one of them. We've got quite a lot indicated there. And one of those that Kamzumbe Agro Shop is also there.
Zulu General Dealers.
Zulu, yes.
There is Zulu General Dealers
yes.
also.
So all those are some of the letters among the many that we've sampled.
Honorable Gamondo.
The last one. I agree that these people are written to. If you look at the letters, actually, they are dated 1st February 2024. meaning that that's when they wrote them. Your committee, on behalf of your committee, would like to know what is the status quo today, because this is 25.
Town Clerk.
Chair, regarding the status quo as at today, maybe we would want to get information from the bank which we did not get latest. But after engagement, some of them started showing some signs of payment.
That is the evidence we want, and we want to appeal to your team to make some calls to furnish us with that information. Or we are interested to see that people are taking responsibility, as he has well elaborated, and the guidance given by the ministry. If we do that, this loan issue, at a certain period, the government will stop giving us monies for loans, but from the revolving funds, we'll be able to give as many people as we can. It's a very good policy and very good facility, but it's us councils who are not helping in this direction. I would ask for a different question. Vice Chairperson, then Dr. Manza.
Thank you so much, Chair. On page 16.
Let's go to page 16.
Looking at the total unspent funds. So, CHIPATA City received 26 million kwacha, 26.5 million kwacha in the year 2023. They also had a balance brought forward of 20 million kwacha. Total available funds were 47.8 million kwacha. Luangeni had 22 million carried forward and 26.7 received in 2023, bringing the total to 49 million kwacha. As at the close of 31st December 2023, both constituencies had balances of 28 million kwacha unspent. I note the reasons that the council has advanced, ranging from the act, the suspension of procurement of desks, non-responsive bids, and the length procurement period. I would like to find out from you, Town Clerk, what would you say was the delay to disperse secondary school bursaries and skills bursaries? What was the delay to disperse youth, women, and community grants? Did these also delay because of the reasons alluded to? I thank you, Chair.
Town Clerk Steward, what's your response?
Chair, for 2023, the delay was as highlighted, that the funds came in May, when actually the schools start January. So immediately the monies were received, we paid out. That could have caused the delay as well.
The Vice Chair, Honorable Shakafus, was going to specific. Can you respond to those specifics? As to grants, as to loans. And grants are not given in the first quarter. They can be given any other time. But when you look at your report, the grants, they go up to a figure that was not given out. Do you attribute it to the same? Because if you started receiving, why were you not paying some of those things? Vice Chair, you can put it better.
Yes, Chair. Just looking at the table on page 16, Chair, the council had a balance brought forward from 2022 of 20 million kwacha, and as at December 31st, they only spent 19 million kwacha for CHIPATA Central. They carried forward 22 million kwacha, in the year 2022, as at 31st December, they spent 21 million kwacha, meaning they had not touched all the monies dispersed in the year 2023. Hence my question, because if you look at the figures, the monies are still intact as at December 31st, 2023. I've seen procurement. I'm interested in the components which do not have procurement, a component, such as the boarding and skills bursaries, the women, youth, and community need to do procurement to give out these monies. What was the delay in dispersing this money? When did you disperse these two components, skills and women empowerment grants?
Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. To with some of the monies that were carried off from 2022, for 2022, where as a result of the we had issues to do with I'm looking for the part, the 2022 forward into 2023 initiations for, and some of them also sit to do with the grants. However, we have showing that grants and bursaries did not cross into 2024. They were actually disbursed in 2023. We can prove the statements are here. We can go to page 17. Maybe through your chair, Director of Finance, can you add?
Chair, when we go to page 17, we've stated the exactly status that shows that those funds were spent. Just to also add on the town, riding on the town clerk submission, bursaries and these skills and bursaries, we don't delay. Those are the first thing that we do immediately, the funding, because those they don't require procurement. What is important is that we already have approved the learners who are already in school. So the moment we receive funding, those are the priorities that we put across and we pay. So if you check on our action taken, it shows that the balances that were shown in the previous table, as highlighted by the Auditor General, our status is as on page 17, where we have shown that everything there was spent except where projects were still outstanding. I serve, Chair.
Chair, I agree entirely with the available submissions. But when I look at the page 16 and what you've just explained on page 17, I agree that you spent the money. But the genesis is that you had unspent funds of 28 million for both constituencies as at 31st December. So to say you spent this, do you have within this document to show us in any to show that you spent this money on, that you spent the money, not have procurement?
TC. Thank you, Chair. Scrutinize them through, we'll be able to see various groups and institutions that received both bursaries, loans, and empowerments in 2023 indicated. Chair, that's the information we're trying to scout through and be able to.
So, since you are referring us to the statements, Town Clerk, we are going to assign one of your accountants here to be specific. Take us to the specific page of that statement as we proceed with the other questions. On the same? Okay. Honorable Pavioma, you I don't know. So we have been joined by our honorable member for Sikiri. You can introduce.
Good morning, honorable members. Good morning, Secretariat. All our permanent witnesses. CHIPATA. People from CHIPATA, good morning. Kalobo Pavyuma is my name. I represent the people of Sakire constituency, Kitwe in the Copper Belt. Chair, thank you for the opportunity to ask a question. Chair, I'm interested on the bursaries and the skills development, where I've just heard that they don't delay as a local authority in the payments, and they've referred us to Appendix 10 as where the evidence is seated. So I've checked Appendix 10. I've only seen the bank statements. I've not seen a student head count register. I've also not seen the payment vouchers, which will indicate which specific dates you paid these students, or any information reading that a particular students on skills development, especially the meal allowances, where they received. So maybe where is this information in your evidence so that we can move with you on one page? Thank you, Chair.
That is a follow-up from Honorable Shakafuswa. Town Clerk, give us information to confirm that these were paid on time as you indicated.
Thank you, Chair. I was trying to check through these documents, the bank statements. We have also ledgers. Maybe I've been allowed, Chair, to
That's what I'm saying, that ask your officer. When the officer is ready, we will need just to verify what you have just submitted. We can go to the next question.
Okay. On the addendum, if we pick the Appendix 2012, Appendix 12, go in terms of pages, I would say page 1, the second page, third, fourth,
page,
fifth, okay.
Are they numbered?
Yeah, we are able to see Chipata Central Multipurpose, that is a group.
Page what?
Appendix 12. If we flip through the pages, Appendix 12 in the addendum, or even the main document where you see the bank statements. So if we, Chair, the first page, second, third, or if as we anything where we see multiple,
we don't operate. I've guided you, Town Clerk. Ask your officer. Anyone from accounts? Ask the chief accountant behind there to take his, and we shall want specific direction page or the transactions that were made. Equally, we would want any confirmation to do with the registers. Which colleges, how many of those students were to which colleges, and the payments done. Even the payments themselves, if there are 3, 4, that would be satisfactory. Dr. Manza was coming to you before, as we are doing that. Let me allow for another question. We shall suspend that or put it on hold as we ask the chief accountant to. Another different question.
Chairperson. Yes. Three.
It's a different question.
Page 3 on poor workmanship. So I want to find out at which point did the council concluded that this is poor workmanship.
Poor workmanship, page 3, it is starting from page 2. Poor workmanship, construction of Gonda Bridge.
Yes.
The question, Town Clerk, at which point did the council realize or know that bridge?
Chair, it is auditor's observation that there was poor workmanship.
As a council, you were
As
satisfied?
a council, we are saying it was not poor workmanship. It was after they worked. If we check the bridge, the concrete works, the culverts, they are standing in firm. What was washed away on the approaches of the bridge, which was the soils and the embankments, which was washed away because of heavy flow. We've stated that it was flash floods immediately after the project was commissioned.
A follow-up. Honorable Mlonda.
Chair, Town Clerk, I've seen you acting, right?
Yes, Chair.
You're
For
acting-
administrative convenience.
Yes. You're
Switch
acting
off your
for-
mic.
You're acting for administrative convenience. Sir, here we deal with facts, not assumptions. We are asking at which point, was it at the beginning or at the end? If your house is built and complete, within one rain season it comes down, can you defend that? If it's your house, whether there are floods or what, we have seen everywhere. It's not only Chipata where we receive rains. Actually, we receive a lot of rains in Northwestern. And in Wapula, we have a lot of water, more than in Chipata. So for you to justify that the auditors are the ones that have seen this is poor workmanship, what do you mean by that statement? That the auditors are the ones that have seen. To you it's okay, but the auditors have seen. And you know that the communities across the Gonda Bridge there are suffering, and they are hearing you justifying the works that are disadvantaging the communities around there.
Town Clerk.
Chair, we are saying after the project was commissioned sometime in November.
Which year?
2023. We had the auditors in January, February 2024, just about 2 or 3 months in between. Then it came to light, and upon inspection, yes, it's true, the embankments were washed away.
By flash floods
heavy
in
flash
Chipata in
floods.
2023, you had the flash floods.
Chair, if you check on Appendix 2, we have attached, there was a report showing what happened. Not only this bridge was affected, so many other infrastructure was affected in the district at the same time.
In 2023, you had the flash floods.
Yes, Chair.
Honorable Mtero.
Chair, so with your permission, which year did we have drought?
The 2024 rain season.
And that's where we equally had flash floods. 2023, 2024. Thank you very much. Drought. Then we had floods in Chipata. Chair. No wonder the Honorable Member of Parliament, Fosia Vonga, stated to say at which period was the poor workmanship noted. In other words, between you and the Auditor General's office, who should have noted this poor workmanship?
Good one.
Who? Allow me accept the floods. So yes, floods. So What did you do? Or why didn't you do what you should have done, save for the coming of the Auditor General's office? From your own answers. Thank you, Chair.
Brilliantly put. Town Clerk. Equally married to what Honorable Munda said, within a short period, the house is crumbling. How would you justify that? Town Clerk.
Chair, thank you very much. Yes, 2023, 2024 we had drought, but in CHIPATA we experienced a one-off, and it's there. We have been attached.
You experienced what?
A once-off serious heavy rainfall, and also with winds.
My Town Clerk. My Town Clerk. If he is a place or town from Munyimba up to Chipangali, districts in the east that had something, some rain or anything to be defined that manner, it is only somewhere in Lundazi and Chasefu going to Chama. This is a reality. Which one of downpour destroyed the bridge well built by a contractor, supervised by the council engineers? One of the whole Gonda Bridge embankment is gone in that period. Town Clerk, you don't come up with responses for the sake of this as to the reality. The people are listening and watching you. Town Clerk.
Chair, we have responded exactly what happened, and in Appendix 2, Chair, we have attached other structures that were damaged during the same time.
Honorable Mulunda,
just get a clarification. Town Clerk, we will be leaving some of the questions, though answered and satisfactory. But I want to ask you, do you have the Director Engineering here?
Yes, Chair is here.
Where Director Engineering is through you, Chairperson. I want to find out if he was there. Were you there when this bridge was being constructed?
Yes, I was around.
Let us break for lunch. They may break for tea. I don't know how hungry I am. We shall come back, and I have honorable members itching to do justice to this report. Chair,
I shouldn't finish my question.
You will finish. I know you will finish your question, but due to time, let's have a short 10 minutes break for our tea break. Then we come back, so that the Town Clerk maybe will realize that that period we didn't have any drop of a serious rain to damage a bridge, a Gonda bridge. Thank you very much. Short break.
Thank you, Chair.
Good morning. Thank you so much for still being with us on Parliament Television. The Committee on Local Government Accounts has gone on a short break, and they are still receiving submissions from CHIPATA City Council which is being led by the town clerk, Mr. Donald Mwanza, and they are making their submissions on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund for the financial year ended 31st December 2023. So just now we go on a break, and we'll be back after they come back from the short break. Good morning, and keep watching Parliament Television.